Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. I do want to, now that we have a chance to be able to do this, Tio, I do want to kind of give you the floor because you had a take before we hit record where you said that you were, I think the quote was, can we talk about how disappointing the SEC has been so far this season? And I want you to elaborate on that because we're sitting here and like the records are ugly. They got three
Yeah.
teams in the top 10 on KenPom, and neither of those teams are who I would call the two best teams in the league, and that's Tennessee and Kentucky. So talk to me about the SEC and why you feel the way you feel.
No, we were expecting so much out of Texas A&M, and they've got 4 losses. Arkansas had all these transfers. They've got 4 losses. Missouri's got 5 losses, including an embarrassing one to Seton Hall at home. Like, just looking at all these teams, when are we going to start? Like, are we going to hold them accountable? Alabama's got 5 losses. But sure as shit, Louisville loses to somebody. I hear it from Goodman. Like, what are we ever going to talk about? Like the SEC underperforming in the non-conference because that's what's happening. They're underperforming. They're playing close, so that keeps their metrics up, but they're underperforming. Like, what are we doing? So, is the goose not good for the gander? What's good for the goose is not good for the gander. I don't understand. Like, are we going to hold everybody to the same standards as winning, losing basketball games? Tennessee's got 3 losses. Alabama's second best team in KenPom, 5 losses. Auburn, I'll give Auburn. I'm not going to hate on Auburn. They're really good. I like that team. Kentucky's really good. 2 losses. Texas A&M, we are all preaching like, hey, this is a team that can win the SEC. 4 losses. Like, what are we? I understand it's a young conference. It's an athletic conference, but is that where we're at right now? We're not going to say anything. I'm not going to say they're completely disappointing, but they haven't been as good as advertised. We were hyping them as the second best conference. And according to KenPom, they are. But sometimes KenPom is Ken wrong. He doesn't get it all right. So, like, let these things start to catch up. If you lose, that should drop you a little bit, damn it.
KenPom is Ken wrong. Oh, that joke was Ken wrong, Tio. I
That
also
was
love,
terrible.
and I
Dad
gotta
joke,
give
but
you credit
funny.
for this. I got to give you credit for this because I don't know if anybody else picked up this shot that you threw, but it was a sniper, right? It was a left hook that you didn't see it coming. Missouri has lost at home to Jackson State. They lost to Kansas in a game that is a rivalry game. They got their doors blown off, embarrassed by Illinois in the what was it, the bragging rights game, right? And the one that you choose to say is the most embarrassing loss is to
You're damn
Seton
Skippy.
Hall, who followed that up with a win over UConn, all because our producer Dagan Hughes is a Seton Hall alum. I appreciated that. I love that you threw that in there. I hope that the listeners and the people in the chat can appreciate that as well. Tyler, I know you feel the same way about the SEC. Go ahead, tell me what you think, and feel free to make fun of Dagan in the process if you want.
No, I just think the SEC, for what we hyped them up to be, especially before the season started, and I saw Tennessee walk into the Smith Center and just get destroyed. So it's really hard for me to take them seriously after what UNC did to them at home. But like you said, Kentucky's probably the best team in the SEC, and that's about as much
I
credit as
agree.
I'll give Big Blue Nation from me. And I will say they've only had one quad one win as well, and that's against my Tar Heels. But
Don't let him off
but
the hook, T. Don't let him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. I love that.
but yeah, it just seems like everybody's beating Alabama. Everybody's beating Arkansas at some point. And it's not to say that those teams won't develop, because I do think Arkansas has potential. They have players. They have that Brazil kid who I think is going to be, if he gets it going, could be an issue for every team. But the SEC is underwhelmed.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with them is that there is no Arizona, there is no Purdue, there is no UConn, there is no juggernaut that you look at and you say, without a
Yeah, it's
doubt,
just
that
a
is a
bunch of
team that
teams
can
with
go out
3 or
and win
more
the.
losses,
Yeah, it's just a bunch of teams that are like good teams that you could
except
talk
for Ole
yourself into
Miss.
being really good teams, except for Ole Miss. They're sitting there undefeated. And you know, it's funny. They're sitting there undefeated and they're projected to finish ninth in the conference, according to some of those metrics. So
Ken Palm is
it's a
Ken wrong.
fascinating. Ken Palm is Ken wrong. I think it's a really interesting league because it is the one where I think the race is the most wide open. I could talk myself into Tennessee, into Alabama, into Auburn, into Kentucky, into Arkansas, maybe into Ole Miss. No, that's probably it. I think I could talk myself into 6 different teams winning the conference, and I don't know if there's another league where you can say that. So I think it's just To part of why it's become this league that we're questioning is because it's just so balanced at the top instead of having one team kind of run away with it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a
no,
lot of
agree,
losses. And
disagree.
a lot of losses. I don't have a whole lot to say, just a lot of losses.
Yeah, what about Vanderbilt, huh? 4-8. They impressed you?
They have not. They have not. Nobody is happier than Jeff Goodman.
Oh man, here we go. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.